Well, welcome to 2020 here at Longevity Health Institute. I hope the holiday season and the new year and not too much overindulging served you well. And now it's time to clean up, right? Well, here's the thing, back in the office here in early January of 2020. And of course, what do we see? Everybody's eating bad, having their wine, getting together, gathering, and developing worse digestive issues and inflammatory issues. Why? Well, because they're feeding their bad gut flora. And you've heard me repetitively talk about conditions like leaky gut, which is actually the earliest report of leaky gut in a medical journal, 1984. Just to tell you, it's not something new, it's not a fad. Intestinal permeability and leaky gut is very real. The thing though is this, I want to address something that's very, very big with leaky gut and digestive issues. And it kind of comes today at a very specific time because our patients are actually post-holiday, most of them been overindulging a bit, having carbs, having sugars, having a little bit of gluten, having a little bit of wine, things like this. And so they're feeding their poor gut flora, and they're creating an immune response and a more inflammatory response, and they're creating a reaction in their body at their intestinal lining, which is their kind of defense wall mechanism of their gut. Because remember, 70% of your immunity is your digestive health, is your gut flora, and is that intestinal small bowel digestive lining epithelial cells. Okay, it's like a border wall. Very, very, very important, and have good integrity there. So to recap and relate all this, when you have a breakdown in the epithelial cells, and actually I have here something to show you. This is actually an electron microscope picture of the epithelium, the lining of the small bowel here under electron microscope. This is not a artistic rendition. It's actually an electron microscope picture of how the permeability and breakdown. And what happens is when you get microbes that are from the gut and from the diet, they create inflammatory cytokines that then cause inflammation in your body and cause an immune reaction. And anytime you get that kind of thing, you're going to get, well, first of all, you're going to feel pretty poorly. But if you have anything that potentially is autoimmune, or you do have autoimmunity, you're going to flare. I had some patients today that had autoimmune conditions, one of them rheumatoid arthritis. She, about 3 months ago, had stopped her low-dose naltrexone. Naltrexone is a great immune modulator. You've heard me talk about that. I have other videos on LDN, low-dose naltrexone. She had stopped that, thought she was doing well, kind of hadn't been in here about 4 months. Then Miss Holiday started eating bad, had some big reactions, big inflammatory reactions. Well, why? Because her intestinal permeability wasn't very good, wasn't good integrity. She fed poor inflammatory foods that aggravated that epithelial lining in the small bowel and in the gut, and then created inflammatory cytokines, okay? And when that happens, you get a big immune shift, okay? And you'll get inflamed, whether it's MS, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, Hashimoto's, connective tissue disease, it doesn't matter. You're going to have an immune response and something negative. Now, one thing we also will do besides kind of address this and look at somebody's live blood here and get them on the right diet, show them how much candida they have, hopefully not a lot of food reactions and food allergies, nutritionally coach them into the right dietary program, which is going to be low carb, gluten-free, dairy-free, potentially a autoimmune or anti-inflammatory diet, which is going to take away typically a lot of the nightshade vegetables, but we don't just across the board do that. We do it very systematically. But you need a protocol of specifically glutamine, very specific high-grade multi-strain probiotics. I'd love to use, and actually just recently published in my new winter longevity newsletter, an article that was just in the 2019 December Gastroenterology Journal about the use and benefits of a probiotic strain called Saccharomyces boulardii just recently I just formulated my own probiotic for our patients that is going to be a high strain, high grade with Saccharomyces boulardii, because the new evidence and stuff we see here all the time, and when you use Saccharomyces boulardii, not only you eradicating candida and helping good intestinal flora, but there's studies that show you reduce inflammatory cytokines. Anytime you can reduce inflammatory cytokines, you're going to get better healing ability, but you're going to calm the immune response. So autoimmunity will be calmed, okay? So remember that. We have a very good probiotic here at Longevity Health Institute. You can find it at our website and in our office that has Saccharomyces boulardii in it. Again, I just formulated my own so that we're putting a few billion live strains in a other multi-strain probiotic, full spectrum quality live probiotic. But it's very, very good to take down inflammation and calm the immune response and help heal the digestive lining. But again, how do we start talking about this is post-holidays. It's time to clean up, okay? It's time to make sure you're pooping right, you're eating right, you're taking supplements that help the lining of the digestive system be well, okay? And you're following and tracking this. You know, out there, if you're not one of my patients or see one of my practitioners, and we have several, so we can get you in any time, we look at your inflammatory numbers, we look at your inflammatory cytokines, we look at your autoimmunity levels, and we track those, not just your symptoms. Your symptoms are important, but this is where we know that you get good quality digestive healing, and we can really help and balance an immune response and help autoimmunity and prevent autoimmunity. In fact, actually, we have a few cases here where we actually have reversed autoimmunity, and it's more of a refractory remission autoimmunity. We're always, skeptical about using a word about reversing and healing, but I can say healing objectively, we do get results that all of a sudden in their blood does not show that they have an autoimmune response. That's wonderful, that's exciting, and these patients do lovely. So hopefully this is enlightening. 2020, you got it, it's all about balance. Yeah, we've had a good time for a few weeks. Let's clean up, let's eat right, get on a good quality probiotic, be gluten-free, get rid of high carbs, get off alcohol, get off of high carbs and sweets and sugars. This includes healthy ones, honey, fruits, high glycemic foods. We need to kind of calm those down to help settle the system and not feed candida. So let's start doing the right thing in 2020 so we can always enjoy later, right? And create that balance. It's all about balance, okay? Hopefully this enlightens you. So Dr. Lewerenz here, Longevity Health Institute, always here to help and assist you. Share this with others and loved ones. Always taking new patients. Myself and my other practitioners and a soon physician we're hiring are always here to help you and direct you in the best and functional personalized medicine. Be well.